everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make your baby doll feel heavier like a real baby. So if you're going to sit with your baby doll when you're watching TV or whatever, it actually feels like a real baby, which is really comforting. I have two reborns. They are pretty heavy, but you can make them heavier without adding stuff inside them. They're just these little bean bags you're going to make. So what you're going to need is some fabric, or if you have a shirt or a dress and you cut the sleeves off, you should have some extra fabric. I'm going to do that. I've already made one of these before. I made it right before with just regular fabric, so it depends on what you want. But I'm going to just use this and then just sew the edges. You're going to need a needle and thread. You could use a sewing machine too. I just don't have one, so I'm going to just use this. And then you could use a hot glue gun to do it, but I think it's fun to sew it because it's going to be stronger too. The hot glue gun won't hold it as well, because you'll see what we're going to do. So, that's the first step. So you're going to sew the edges if you have like a shirt. So this is basically a little bean bag that you can just put inside their onesie. It'll make them much more heavy, which is really comforting like a real baby. You don't need to use a reborn, any doll, and it will make it kind of feel like a real baby. So yeah. Wait, before you get sewing, make sure that you do it inside out. I forgot about that. If you want it inside out, so when you're done, you can flip it over and make sure you don't sew half of it. So, because we're going to be stuffing it, and we will be wanting to turn it over to the right side of the fabric. So yeah. So now you should have all these stitches at the top. Make sure they're pretty small, just so the stuff that we're going to put inside doesn't fall out. So then what we're going to do is prepare the stuff that we're going to put inside of it to make it heavy. So if you have any little pebbles in your backyard, or you might want to use a sewing machine if you want to put sand inside, because you don't want it to fall through the little edges, the little between them. So yeah, so you could use sand if you make sure your stitches are very, very, very tiny and very, very close together. You could use little pebbles. You could use big rocks too. And you could, if you have these like special little beads that would make them heavy, make something heavy, you can too. So yeah, I'm going to be using rocks today, so let's prepare them. So the first thing you want to do is collect some little rocks. Then what you're going to want to do is take a bowl of water and put the rocks in there for about 5-10 minutes. I'm going to wait. This part is optional if you want to put them in water. This is just going to clean them because there might be some little bugs or little sticks and little stuff, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just making sure they're clean. So yeah, then I like to put them in like this thing and then just drain out the water. Maybe put it in the garden so you can water the plants. I'm gonna do that. So I did that. All the rocks are in here. There might be some little twigs and stuff. You can just take those out. And these rocks should be pretty clean, but they're really wet, so you don't really, I'm just going like this because there's some water. You don't really want them to be wet if you're going to put them in the fabric, because the fabric's going to get all wet. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a little rag or towel thing that you can use and just put them on and leave them in the sun. Or just let them dry for longer if it's not sunny out. It doesn't take that long. I just have it on a table outside in the sun. You might want to dry it with a towel for a second, like that. You're going to spread them out so they will all dry evenly, because that will take less time, like this. So yeah, and then you're gonna just wait like 10-20 minutes. It's been like 5 minutes and they're already starting to get dry. So yeah, I got my sack of rocks. It's actually pretty heavy, so that's good. And then you're gonna want some regular stuffing. If you don't have that, that's okay. I'm just gonna put like a tiny bit in, just so it kind of gets filled up, because I don't think the rocks will fill it all up. But yeah, you don't need to do this. This is just what I'm gonna do. So I just have my thing we made like this. So yeah, I think I maybe prepared too many rocks, because I don't know if they're all gonna fit in here, but let's try. And then I have a little bit of stuffing. I don't know if we're gonna need it. Don't worry if they fall out a little bit in the holes. If they don't, that's good, but it could, but I don't know. So yeah, if it does, you could just stitch a little bit up in the holes. So this is already getting really heavy. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then what you're gonna want to do is just sew up the top. You're gonna see the stitches, because if you put it inside out, you can't stuff it. Yeah, so it's okay though. So this is already starting to get heavy. So you're just gonna fill it up as high as you want, as heavy as you want, whatever. And then you can put some stuffing. It's completely optional. This is my beanbag thing. This could also be a doll beanbag. Weighted blanket. Yeah. So yeah. This is really easy to make, and I'll show you how to put it in the doll. So these are my 2 sacks. I'm just gonna put her here. So yeah, she is pretty heavy, but I'm gonna make her even heavier. So I have this one, which is pink. I have this one, which is white, which is a little bit more flat, and they're actually the same weight. So yeah, that's really nice and heavy. So yeah, this is actually really nice. And then what you're gonna do is, so let's say your baby has a onesie, you're going to take a sack and just stick it in there. You don't need to glue it, you don't need to do anything. It will wreck the doll. It's just gonna sit there. Maybe it looks weird, but it feels really comfortable. This is really heavy when it has one, but when it has 2, it's gonna feel like exactly like a real baby. So, yeah, you can make as many as you want. These could be used for really anything you want. So, oh my gosh, she's so heavy with both of them in. So, yeah, it actually feels like a real baby. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a really fun craft to do. It's really easy too. If you need to like quickly fix it, like maybe a stitch came undone, you could just put a piece of tape temporary, and then yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe.